What's up, everybody? We have a Bafang M620 motor here on this Sondors LX and no pedal engagement. Chains on there, you can see that. All right, we're gonna fix that today. Let's get started. So the part we need to replace is this right here. It's called the Bafang Ultra M620 Central Motor Pawl Clutch Replacement. And once we get that motor open, I'll show you the insides and where this goes and what it does, what its function is. Okay, I don't know if you saw that, but I try to use an electric impact wrench. This is used to take lug nuts off of rims and tires. I could not get this off with that. So I had to resort to air, and I used my air impact gun and it got that nut off. That's how tight these things are on. And the reverse thread, it's a pain in the ass. So sometimes you might have to resort to air tools. And I saw a video where someone uses it on this motor. I guess it's totally fine. So that nut that holds on this right here, it's on there. Reverse thread, all right? Just thought I'd share that. That's what I had to resort to get that off. That nut, this right here. That nut was on so hard that holds your cranks on, your crank arms. Had to use an air impact. So yeah, these things sometimes are a bitch. They are on super tight and they are reverse thread. All right, just thought I'd share that. So got all this removed. It's time to move around, remove the cover. And then we're gonna take these 1, 2, 3 bolts out. All right, this side you have 1, 2, 3 screws, Phillips head. Just remove those and that'll expose the nuts on the bolts that hold this motor in. All right, so there's your bolts, 1, 2, and 3. You're gonna remove those nuts. Sorry, I keep calling them bolts. So those nuts are 13 millimeter. All right, there's 3 washers. I use a magnet to collect them, just so you don't drop them and lose them somewhere. Now let's knock those bolts out of their holes. I use a punch and a mallet. Start on this side. You don't want to mess up the threads. Just gently tap. Coming out a little bit easier. Two. And 3. Just lift from the rear, wiggle it a little bit, and there it is. Okay. All right, so I got all the wires unplugged, ready to open it up. All right, let's start the disassembly of the motor. You got your 6 Allen screws. Also, you have your clip right here. I've already removed it with my snap ring pliers. So this is usually right there. Took that off. Set it somewhere safe so you don't lose it. Okay, so using a magnet. Just easy to pull these out. Set these somewhere safe. So I'm curious to see what it looks like inside. Let's find us a nice thin flathead to get it started. Should come apart pretty easy. Yeah, there we go. I'm just gonna slowly work myself around it. Careful of that gasket. right, now we can lift it out. There you go. Still looks pretty good in there. Now I'm going to remove these gears. This one, then this one, and then this one. And those pawls are underneath here that I'm going to replace. All right, so here we go. I'm going to remove these. There we go. This one. And then this one. There we go. So here's the part that failed right here. Check this out. See how those pawls are all stuck? That spring is not allowing them to spring back in place. So there's no engagement. That spring, I think, is broken. All right, we're going to replace that. All right, so here's the new one. And I already put a little bit of Tri-Flow lubricant on each of the teeth that retract and engage. These ones right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it in here. This makes it a little bit easier. That way. Give it a little twist so it sits down inside there like that. And now, when I drop it in here, it all stays together in one piece. Hopefully. So actually, there's a washer that sits on top. Then this drops in there. Give it a twist so it engages. Now you can hear them engaging. Listen. And that's the part that was not engaging with the pedals of the cranks. So it's working correctly now. Now I have to put everything back together. All right. Looking at these gears, they look good. Everything's back together. I'm just going to clean up this area around here with the gasket and slap it back together. All right. Went together pretty easy. Make sure no wires are pinched or sticking out. Nice and sealed. Show you this side. It's all back together. Now I'm going to put the screws in, button it all up, place it back in the bike. All right, so really quick, those are the pawls that I did pull out. You can just see that the spring, I believe it's broken somewhere. It's just not retaining or letting these pawls pop back up in place and engaging like they should. It's not really doing anything. So let me check that spring real quick. Yeah, see, it was snapped right there. pedaling. It's working. Might have to adjust that shifter, but there we go. Back to pedaling.